Good morning students, I am Bhupesh Bansal, your mentor for physics and Director Anand Prakash Educational Academy. As you are aware that we have been producing many IITians and doctors from our institute who finally go down to IIT and AIIMS and other good medical and engineering colleges and are placed today in some of the world's best professions. Some of our doctors who have got our mentorship are today fighting the war against corona, and on this war front they are showing the same dedication what they have shown while doing their preparation for NEET. I salute all these doctors and assure them on my behalf as well as on behalf of you all that we all are with them and will support them in any of the crisis. Students, we have been discussing about the chapter on magnetism. What we have seen so far is about what is a magnet, a bar magnet, north and south pole of the magnets, then the magnetic field lines, the strength of a magnet. Then we started with the study of magnetic effect of electric current due to straight conductor, Ørsted's experiments, Ørsted, how he developed, how he knew about the magnetic field due to electric current flow through straight conductor, through circular loop, and finally through a coil. Now, I'll start again from the property of magnetic fields, field lines. Now, these properties we already discussed in our last chapter. They all start from north pole and in south pole outside the magnet. This is what is more important. They start from north pole and at south pole outside the magnet, whereas inside the magnet it is reverse. They start from the south pole and end up in the north pole. Now, all the lines when they are traveling inside the magnet are parallel lines and very close to each other. That's why the strength of the magnetic field is very high inside the magnet, whereas outside they are very close near the poles but wide apart as they move away from the pole. As they move away from the poles. Third and the most important thing is these lines never cross each other. This is a very important phenomenon and questions generally come why these lines do not cross each other. We have already explained you in the last chapter that why these lines do not cross each other. If they cross each other, what does that mean? Like suppose if these are the two lines and they cross at this particular point, then what does this mean? That a hypothetical north pole placed at this point will show two north directions. One is in this direction, the other is in this direction, which is not possible. A hypothetical pole or hypothetical north pole can get deflected and will show a new north based on the influence of the magnetic field only in one direction. It cannot show two different directions. So you have to be very careful while answering these questions. Now, while we were studying the current causing the magnetic field, we are seeing that what happens when a current is passed through a straight conductor. The magnetic field lines are concentric circles wherein the center of the wire is the center of those concentric circles. These concentric circles are very close to each other, closer to the wire, whereas as they move away from the wire, they are wide apart. You have to remember, and the strength of the magnetic field lines depend on the current passing through the conductor. Then we talked about circular loop. We again use the same principle of a straight conductor and then went on to see the clock facet rule, how to identify which pole is south, which surface or which plane is the north pole and which plane is the south pole in the clock using the clock facet rule. Then we talked about the coil. I'll start from the coil again. A coil is nothing but a core which is made up of soft iron or some steel alloys over which the conductor, insulated conductor is wound. And when we give power to this, when the current starts flowing from it, depending upon how it is wound on this side, if I see the cross-sectional view, if suppose it is wound like this and the current is flowing like this, then this becomes my south pole. So this is, I'll take the direction like this only, this becomes my south pole, this becomes my north pole. Now, this again acts like a bar magnet because there is an internal flow of magnetic lines from south pole to north pole in this direction, and outside it is from north pole to south pole. It acts like a bar magnet. But the things which are different here from the bar magnet are, we are going to discuss it in the very few next few minutes. But the most important thing here is, if I stop this current, if I open this switch, the current flow stops and the magnet becomes demagnetized. Magnet is no more a magnet then. That means it acts like a temporary magnet. It's not a permanent magnet like a bar magnet. Bar magnet में मेरे को कोई पावर बंद नहीं करनी है, वो हमेशा मैग्नेट ही बना रहता है. यहाँ जैसे मैंने बिजली बंद की, this gets demagnetized and ceases to be a magnet. That's why we call it as a temporary magnet. Now, on what all things the strength of this magnet depends on? One is definitely the current flowing through the coil. Second is the number of turns of the coil. Third is the gap between the two poles. The gap between the two poles, that is the north and the south pole. जितना ज़्यादा गैप होगा उतनी स्ट्रेंथ कम होगी, जितना गैप कम होगा उतनी स्ट्रेंथ ज़्यादा होगी. इसी के लिए different shapes of magnets have started coming up. One of those shapes is called horseshoe magnet or a U-shaped magnet. We'll just see that what is a horseshoe magnet or a U-shaped magnet. A horseshoe magnet or a U-shaped magnet is something like this, where the coil is wound here, the coil is wound here, maybe it is connected like this, and this is connected to the source. Now, in this particular case, we drastically reduce the air gap between the north and the south pole. Suppose this is the north pole and this is the south pole. We drastically reduce the air gap between the north and the south pole. So, this becomes even more powerful magnet. Now, what are the advantages of a temporary magnet over permanent magnet? As we said, a temporary magnet can be demagnetized. आप सब लोगों ने देखा होगा कि जंकयार्ड में गाड़ियों को एक मैग्नेट के द्वारा उठाया जाता है और दूसरी जगह जा के फेंक दिया जाता है. That is done with the help of a temporary magnet. You magnetize here, they get attracted, get lifted, use the fork, take it to the other place, demagnetize and get thrown there. But is not possible with the help of a permanent magnet, क्योंकि वो हमेशा चिपकी रहेंगी. Second thing is, temporary magnet is very strong magnet. And we can increase the strength by increasing the current, increasing the winding, number of turns or something. So, and whereas this is a weak magnet compared to a permanent magnet. This is a permanent magnet, this is a temporary magnet. So, this is cannot be demagnetized, this is a weak magnet. We can change the polarity of the magnet. Polarity cannot be changed. How we can change the polarity of the magnet? Simply by changing the connection on the battery. The positive becomes the negative and the negative becomes the positive. The current flow reverses. Once the current flow reverses, what you get? The north pole becomes the south pole and the south pole becomes the north pole. So, another very important fact, finding of it, that one is demagnetizing, the other is strength, third is polarity. Fourth is, I want you all to work out on what is the fourth difference between the magnets. I could have given the difference to you, but I want you guys to work out on it. And now we will move on to the next part, a very small part of the chapter, that is magnetism in human body. Now in case of humans, हमारी nerves के साथ ionic fluids flow करते हैं. These ionic fluids are in the form of ions. They carry ions which are either positively charged or negatively charged, and because of that charge, a small quantity of current flows through our body. And this flow of current causes magnetism in our body. And this principle of flow magnetism in our body has been used to diagnose our body. You must have heard the name of MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaging, which is done to study the internals of our body. The brain and the heart are the two areas where maximum current flow is there in our body, and doctors generally use MRI to scan our body, to image our body, and to tell us if something is wrong with our body. In the next lecture, we will study the motor effect, we will study the generator effect, Fleming's left-hand rule, right-hand rule, and subsequently finish the chapter before proceeding to other questions and numericals on this chapter. Till then, take care, have a nice day, and enjoy the life. Thank you very much.